Okay, so we are back. So we finished writing the integration test for the Trento bike station service. And now we have this integration test that we can stick in our CI and run as often as we want. And this actually calls the network service, and that's why we decided to put it in a separate target. So yeah.
So then our tests in the unit testing target will still all be quick. They won't be.
Yeah. So add integration tests. We removed as well the UI test target. Yeah.
And are you happy with like a commit bundling those things together?
No, it should be step by step.
You'd prefer if not, but what if just randomly as you're making the second target, like we did, we were like, okay, yeah, well, we could remove the UI test.
What we should have done was stashing our changes, deleting the target, committing, and then reapplying the stash.
Yeah, super easy.
Yeah, because for example, imagine now that we have the need to revert the UI test target.
And we can't.
We can't because they are bundled together.
Definitely.
Yeah, that is the main disadvantage. But yeah, in this case, it's such an easy operation to re-add the UI test because it's coming here. So yeah, it's always a trade-off. Depends. If it was more complicated projects with other teams, I would definitely like step by step because it's also easier for them
to know
what happened, to see the diff and maybe validate some changes and not the other. Okay, so like we said before, we are testing this very broadly, but it's tested now, this code. So if we come here and, for example, do this kind of thing and forget to call resume in the service, this will fail with a timeout. So this is tested even if it is only in an integration. We can maybe start to moving forward. And in here comes the decision if we want to refactor this service and improve the quality over here, or do we want to treat this as a black box?
It's done and we just leave it.
And start moving in our business priority value that if we reiterate is add support to different cities. No?
Is there any way of knowing whether this stuff, which we have under one test, does it affect anything else in the application?
Yeah, you can see in the call hierarchy. No, not like that. It should be. Yeah, this is a way to see who is using it. Right now. Yeah.
No, but also, like, if that service, it doesn't just get the bikes, but it also interferes.
Has some side effects.
Yeah, has some side effects.
Yeah, that is actually a difficult thing. Like, imagine that this was like saving to a repository or a database, and you don't know. So that's a reason why you should treat this more like carefully if you are working with legacy code, because you don't know. That's also why rewriting is so difficult. Rewriting an application, because you say, okay, we are rewriting this, but you are losing a lot of knowledge that is embedded in this code. Yeah. From here, there is not a way to know is by looking at the collaborators object that it uses. It can be very tedious if this is not a 50-line code or 2,000. But looking at the imports is also a sign. For example, if in here you had like an import Chordate or Realm, then
you have the idea.
No, you can get the sense of it. But without looking at the code, I don't know a way of doing that. I don't know a way of doing it. Because side effects are very difficult. That's why you should minimize them. And for example, in here, we are expliciting what are like the side effects or what this service is doing, because it's delegating the bike stations to another object.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have shouldn't need to care what